as we're shifting into a new earth template, we're also aligning ourselves to the 5D frequency. And that is especially important to know about in terms of how we're going to manifest the things that we desire moving forward, because there is definitely a shift happening. Previously and up until now, we have been in the 3D world. So we have been operating 3D as far as manifesting, how we're going about things, how we're trying to make things happen, or just manifesting the things that we want. But now as we're shifting into the 5D frequency, as we're shifting into the new earth template, the way we are manifesting will also shift as well, which will then actually become easier as well. And in this video, I want to share with you how to manifest with more ease as we're aligning ourselves to that 5D frequency, this 5D reality that we're moving into. First and foremost, you want to connect with your soul's desires, not with your ego wants or what you think you want, but no, really tuning in and connecting deeply with your soul to see, what does my soul desire? And oftentimes that is actually different than what you think you want, or it's maybe not as expansive as what you think you want. So for example, if you say, I want to have a huge house, I want to make like $1 million or anything like that, or I want to become famous or things like that, really those more evolved, expansive things that you thought you wanted up until this point, or maybe you want to buy a new house, a big house, bigger than what you actually need. Those are often more those ego wants, because maybe you're seeing other people who have that and you would love to have that too, but it may not even be what your soul desires. So there's then that disconnect. And as we're moving into this 5D frequency, this 5D reality, it's very important that when it comes to your desires, to really tune in, to connect, to see what is it that you truly want. What is it that you truly, truly desire? And most often it may actually be something different than what you thought you wanted. It may even stretch you because maybe it's something more evolved than what you thought was possible for you, or that you have even considered for yourself. Or it may just be something completely different, or in a different way that you thought you wanted things. And here it's really important to connect with that desire and also energetically connect with that as well. That's the first most important thing. You want to figure out what is it that your soul truly desires, and then make that energetic connection with that. Then the second step is you want to then become aware of anything that could be holding you back, that could be getting in the way. That could be fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, things like that. These are usually the things that are 3D related. And you want to become aware of them before they then actually sabotage you. So if you are getting clear on what is that your soul truly desires, then you want to tune in to see, well, what are those fears, those doubts, those limiting beliefs that you have around having it in just that way, or something even better. Maybe your soul's desire is actually something way bigger than you even thought possible, or that you even thought for yourself that you would be able to actually step into. And then here you want to uncover, well, what are those fears, those doubts, those limiting beliefs, those limiting feelings that you have around what your soul truly desires. And ideally, you want to uncover those before they then actually sabotage your efforts of actually moving forward. Then the third step here would be then to make a conscious choice to move beyond or above those 3D limitations. Those fears, those doubts, they're all 3D related, because your 5D awakened self doesn't believe in lack and limitation. Your soul doesn't believe in lack and limitation. The lack and limitation that we're experiencing, those fears, they're actually from our ego. They're all 3-dimensional, but not as we're moving into this 5D frequency, this new earth. We're really meant to lift our consciousness. And up until this point, you have been assisted to really raise in consciousness. With everything that was going on in 2023, you were really assisted in raising in consciousness to energetically align yourself to the 5D frequency. And now as we're then moving into the new year, it's really important to then operate from that 5D frequency, which then also means is really deciding to move above those 3D limitations and really look at things from a higher perspective. Making that conscious choice that whatever your soul desires is truly available for you, it's truly possible for you, and that nothing can hold you back unless you allow it to really move beyond those limitations or above those limitations, really connect with that higher consciousness and looking at things that, yes, I can do this, even though I might not know how or when it's going to happen or what steps I need to take, but I know that this is possible for me. It is something that my soul desires. So of course it's going to be possible for me. If you have that kind of outlook on things, that will then really help you move past those fears, those doubts, those limited thinking. Now, of course, you want to become aware when they are happening again, so you can always choose, make that conscious choice to say, nope, I'm not allowing my 3D way of who I used to be hold me back, because hey, I've grown way too much this year alone. I'm in a much higher frequency right now. So this is something you can do on a day-to-day basis as you're noticing that fears are kicking in, doubt is kicking in, that you may be trying to limit yourself in whatever way, shape, and form. You can then choose to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to allow these doubts and fears to hold me back any longer. And then you're really making a conscious choice to really trust that whatever your soul desires is truly possible for you. And then the third tip is you want to energetically connect to your soul's desires. Like really make that energetic connection. Envision it in great detail. Feel it, really be it, act from that place. And here a great practice that can actually help you with that is quantum jumping, where you're actually then connecting with a different reality, where you actually live the life that you want to live, have the things that you want to have, experience the things you want to experience, and you're soaking up that frequency. That can really make it easier for you to manifest that into reality in this life with more ease. So I put a playlist in the description below where I talk more about, there are different videos in there about quantum jumping, of what it is, how to really go about it. There's also a light language journey in there as well. So if that is of interest to you, there is the link to that playlist in the description below. But using quantum jumping or any kind of visualization technique to really connect with your desires and really soaking in that frequency, really connecting energetically to that, embodying it and claiming it and really declaring that this is it. This is what I would love to do. Here I give an example of what you can actually do is, it's a great practice of where you pick 4 things or 2 things, or you may not want to go too much, but ideally maybe 4 things that you would love to manifest. Put them on a paper, kind of like a vision board, print it out. And then what you want to do is you want to tune into each of those images and really close your eyes, tune into that, and then see yourself actually doing that. One of my dreams, for example, is I would love to have a wooden cabin. I actually found one online, a picture that fits absolutely what I would love to have. So what I like to then do is I tune into that image. I close my eyes and I see myself walking into the door, going through the house, smelling the wood the wood from the cabin, and really experiencing it in that way, really living it, like visualizing like I'm actually there, like this is actually my home, my cabin. And then you're feeling that frequency, you're feeling that energy of, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. I'm in that home, I'm in that cabin, or whatever it is that you would like. So here, if you have a piece of paper, like you print it out, you have like 4 images on it. Like I said, you don't want to go too much because then it's going to water things down. You want to be in that focused state when you're tuning into those things. And you're then really making that decision. When you're then done experiencing, you're like, okay, this feels really great. Then you say, this is it. Maybe even put your finger on the paper. This is it. You're putting your claim on it. This is mine. This is mine. The more you energetically connect yourself with your desires, the easier it will be for you to then manifest it, have it come about. Then the 4th tip is you want to surrender and release it. Now, you're still energetically connecting to it, and ideally doing this practice of tuning into your desires on a day-to-day basis is absolutely powerful, and you want to continue doing it, so you're still energetically connecting to it. However, you're releasing and you're surrendering the how, the when, how is it going to happen, what do I have to do to make it happen, when is it going to happen, the outcome, because you can have it in this way or something even better. So if you're focusing on one thing that you want to manifest, but there's actually something even better out there for you, then you want to be open to that. So still connecting to the essence of what you desire. I know I'm not going to have that exact cabin, but I know that one of these days I will buy me a wooden cabin with woods around, trees around, in a beautiful area. So it's not so much really focusing on exactly what you want, but the essence of what you want. And having these pictures will help you connect to that. But then, like I said, you want to surrender the how, the when, the outcome. You want to surrender that, because if you're connecting to it energetically and you're really making that energetic connection on a day-to-day basis, and you're really surrendering, just trusting that I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Because it's already available to you. If you can see it, if you can experience it, if you can make that energetic connection, it's already available in the infinite void. It's just, it takes a little time to catch up in the external, right? So there are things that still need to happen in the physical to grow ready for that. For example, I'm not able to buy a cabin right now because, for one, I'm not quite sure where I want to buy it. So there's things that need to happen in the physical before you're ready to then have it, but you want to connect to it on a deeper level, because then it speeds up the process of you manifesting the things that you want. And I'm using my cabin as, it's like a big goal, right? It's a big thing that I want to manifest. But even smaller things, whether it is more financial abundance, or maybe a loving partner, whatever it is, right? You can connect to that, but you want to surrender the outcome, the how, the when, and all of those things. Then the fifth step here is you want to then develop an unwavering sense of trust, knowing it is on the way, that it just hasn't caught up in the physical yet. But really knowing that, yes, this is it. I know with certainty that one day I will have that cabin. Once everything has fallen into place, I know I will have my cabin, because that's what I'm connecting to. So you want to have that unwavering trust. And I want to share with you something, because I actually channeled a message from Toth about this whole 5D way of manifesting. And he has given an absolute beautiful analogy that is so fitting. He used the example of a tree. Like, it starts out with a seed, and then it grows into roots, and then it grows into a little trunk, and then it grows into a tree. This seed, this root, never doubted that it wouldn't turn into a tree. It knew that, well, as long as I have all the things I need from soil, water, light, and all of those things, the things that help it grow, it will grow. It didn't think, well, when am I gonna grow? Oh, I only grew like half an inch. This is not fast enough. No, a tree doesn't think that. A tree knows that one day, when the time is right, when it has grown ready, it will be a beautiful tree having beautiful leaves, maybe even fruits that will then support the animals, and it does its job. It does what it is meant to do. And this is that unwavering trust that we need to develop as well. Your soul has come here for a reason, for a bigger purpose, for a mission, right? Your soul has a beautiful mission. And you are going to step into this when the time is right. And here it's about trusting that, let's say you have been working on something for a while and it hasn't grown as fast, or things haven't worked out the way you wanted. That's oftentimes because we were kind of resisting the things. And like I said, a lot has happened this year anyway. And we are moving now into a different frequency where this whole manifesting becomes easier because the energy is different. The energy of the 5D, as I'm picking up, is more so the divine feminine frequency. So far up until this point, it was more the masculine side, the ego-driven, let's make stuff happen, and like the forceful kind of energy. As we're moving into the age of Aquarius, the 5D frequency, this new earth template, it is more so, it's being replaced. This ego-driven energy is being replaced by the divine feminine. So manifesting also becomes easier as well. Now, of course, we're still conditioned by this ego-driven masculine energy that we have lived by for so many years now, and now we're shifting. So it's going to take some time to really figure out how to best manifest. But using these steps that I've just shared with you, and there's one more step that I want to share with you, but just developing that trust that your path is unfolding. There is a greater plan that is unfolding. Yes, it's going to take time to manifest in the physical, but the more you can connect with your desires, make that energetic connection, really claiming it, like putting your claim on it, saying, this is mine. I don't care how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but this is mine, this or something better. And then really trusting that it's going to come about. If you make that energetic connection, it will come about. But like I said, then we just have to be patient. But the more you connect with it on an energetic level and really putting your claim to it and connecting with it consistently on a daily basis, it will come about with more ease, more quickly. And then the sixth and final step is, and that's like how you then make it happen. That's how you then create it in the reality, is you want to follow your soul's guidance. Taking those soul-aligned steps. Because there is something you have to do in the physical, right? Whatever your desire is, there is something you have to do in the physical. For example, if you say, well, I want to find a loving partner, or I want to get married one of these days. Well, you can't just sit there and wait that, your Prince Charming or, Princess Charming is just dropping into your lap. You have to do something. You have to put yourself into an environment where you could meet someone. Right? You have to maybe do some healing around your heart. Maybe you have gotten your heart broken way too many times, and maybe that is what's holding you back as well. So you have to do something in the physical. If, let's say, you want to create financial abundance, well, what can you do in the physical to help yourself really tap into that frequency to really make more money? Whether it is maybe switching jobs, asking for a raise, or growing a business, doing more in your business to really grow your reach, maybe shifting things around in your business so you can serve more people instead of just one-on-one, whatever it is. So yes, connecting to your desires on an energetic level is absolutely powerful, because you want to make that energetic connection. You want to really put your claim to it. But then you need to do certain things in the physical, and that's by really listening to your soul. What do I feel called to do today that will help me move forward in reaching my goals, in reaching my desires, in manifesting the things that I want to manifest? But all in that detached kind of way, really detaching from the outcome, from the how, but really following your soul's guidance. That is really what is most important as we're moving into this 5D frequency, not to come from the ego all the time and thinking and contemplating and strategizing, but to tune in. Okay, what do I feel called to do? Connecting to your desires, and okay, what can I do right now that will help me move closer to it? But at the same time, you want to trust that it's on the way. Think of it like that. The trusting part is like you have a puzzle. Let's use the example of a puzzle. You have a puzzle. It is like 1,000 pieces. You know that once the puzzle is done, it makes a beautiful picture. You have no doubt about it. Like if you bought a brand new puzzle, you know all the pieces are there. Or it should be, right? But let's say you know that you just opened the bag, all the puzzle pieces are there. So you know that once you're done with the puzzle, you have this beautiful picture. Well, that is your desire, right? Your desires. You know that one day you will have that, it will look just like that or even better than that, right? So you know that. That is that unwavering trust that it's going to be this beautiful picture. But then you have all these puzzle pieces. So you can go about it with the ego way, like, okay, how can I figure this out? Okay, where do I start? Okay, well, maybe I start with the outline first. And then, okay, maybe I need to dissect, separate all the puzzles and stuff like that. But the thing is, that is harder. But when you're tuning in and you're connecting and then being led by soul, it's like soul is telling you, you need this piece that goes here. You need this piece that goes here. So that's kind of like what it is in your life about manifesting your desires, is about really going about in a more feminine way, the easier way, that comes from ease, from flow, from allowing things to unfold by really tapping into it. You're connecting with your desires. You're energetically connecting to it. You're putting your claim to it. You're trusting that it's going to happen. You're really having that unwavering trust. And then you're taking those soul-inspired steps. That is how we're then going to manifest with more ease as we're moving into this 5D frequency. So the 5D way of manifesting is all about that inner and energetic alignment, and then following your soul's guidance to create the life that your soul has envisioned for you. Not your ego, not your personality, but the life your soul has envisioned for you in the most aligned and joyful way. This is how you start manifesting in the 5D way. And I really hope that you enjoyed these tips here, these steps of how to really start manifesting with more ease as we're moving into this new energy. I would like to know from you, does this resonate with you? Have you maybe practiced these steps before in a similar way? And have you noticed the difference to before, how you manifested before? I'm curious to know. Leave me a comment below and let me know. How do you feel about what I just shared with you? And while you're at it, maybe even hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. Because my goal is really moving forward to continue supporting you on your journey of really, making the most out of all these energetic shifts, your spiritual journey, really finding your way in life, finding your soul's path, and really stepping into that. So I'm so grateful that you were here. I really hope that this video was helpful for you. And be sure to check out this video here about embracing the shift of moving into 5D. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.